This is Mawata Kairi Sankara, and we're here doing the thing that we love to do, that is engage in profound conversations, a place where we talk about how you can do better, be better, and think better. And we're here with Lex Kelly. Lex Kelly is a man who has done some great and wonderful things. And what I would like to do in this moment is just, rather than me give the bio,
Mhm.
right, of you in a military life, you and father, you and this person who does these wonderful things with cameras, and you, this person who does this transformational work as a person that helps people to get and tap into themselves. Tell us about who is Lex Kelly, and who is this Leo Lex Kelly?
Okay. Well, first off, thanks for having me. As always, I always appreciate you, Baba, for just for allowing me into your presence and into your space, and then we can have some sacred communication between the both of us. But in short, I always like to kind of remove all of the egoic titles, but I understand for many those are markers for how we can kind of conceptualize a person. So I would say first and foremost, I am a human being. I'm a spirit having a human experience. And the second thing is that I'm a student, consistently and constantly learning, looking for lessons. And then after that, I'm a servant, finding ways that I can serve and express my authentic self and hopefully stimulate others to be authentic within themselves. And then through all of that, man, I have fun on the journey. I've been able to, again, be in the military, um, box. I've been able to, I've got my degree in cinematography. I've been in front of the camera, behind the camera. I've been blessed to be on stage. I've been blessed to speak at the Apollo. I've been blessed to do extensive community service work with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, mentoringbrothers.org. I've been blessed to be able to be in a circle and sit with some of the most phenomenal minds that I've ever experienced. Huge music head, love music, love hip hop. Um, I'm also somebody that's been granted the honor to sit with the youth and work with youth with adolescent development. And I've been blessed and honored to be able to sit with parents and create adolescent development workshops and workshops so that way parents and children can have better communication with themselves. So that way we could better solidify the family structure. I've been blessed and honored to be able to be trusted amongst parents to design co-parenting regimens and designs based off of personal development. So that way individuals can learn how to deal with themselves in a greater level around each other. So that way they set some beautiful, non-confusing examples, or I would say contextualized examples for their children. So I've just been really blessed to do a lot of great work in the community over the last 20 years. And um, I'm really enjoying the fact that as I become older and wiser, I feel more connected to my work.
Mm. Our paths cross around you and community work, and so your community engagement. But what was really interesting is about the cinematography
Mhm.
on in front of the screen, on the stage, all of those things that you do. And I want to be clear about something. And there's beauty in humility, and then there's something else that can actually be a little difficult for people to understand, to capture. So uh, people have go to funerals all the time, and it's not for the dead; it's for the living.
Mhm.
The point is that there are things that may be dead to you. However, your points of accomplishment, your points of interest, are points that we can connect, and
Mhm.
that's where the power comes from. Because those spots along our journey give us more meaning, but they give us another level of power along the
Yes.
way, kind of like a rank in the military, right? It doesn't make you a better person; it just makes you you've had more things that happen to you, so you get an extra stripe or so. So the
Mhm.
point is this to most people. Some people they get it because of merit. Anyway. So the point I want to say that is that there's beauty in that journey. But let's look at this. So the community activism, the
Mhm.
cinematography.
Mhm.
What is it? What in your experiences in life
Mhm.
that gave rise to this deep philosophy that you have about human functioning? Like, what did you encounter? When did it happen?
People is what I encountered.
Thank
People.
you for that. Thank you for that deep one. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Just from very young, people have always been very difficult for me to be around. Um,
Hmm.
and I always have been in my head, more comfortable in my head than actually experiencing other people. And but I've always wanted to experience other people. I have a deep love for family and unity and community and togetherness. That's something that resonates with me at my core, but my nervous system was not organized well enough to be able to bridge that gap. So I had to
Hmm.
develop the skill set to be able to walk over that bridge and interact with people. But at the same time, I also had to develop the skill set to not lose myself in that. So my life journey has been honestly me doing a whole bunch of shit that I had to build the courage to actually do, and then figure out how to do it without disappointing other people. And
Hmm.
I found out later that I had a large issue with people pleasing.
Hmm.
And then I had an issue with self acceptance. And
Hmm.
so these things manifested throughout my relationships, especially my intimate relationships. So I
Hmm.
went on a journey of learning about myself and learning how this life experience works. And from there, trying my best to integrate it into my own life so that way I could
Hmm.
have healthy functional relationships with the people closest to me. And just I just have people just happen to find what I say interesting. And on top of that, I'm a writer. I love to write. I'm a storyteller. I'm an artist. So that those lessons I've been able to tell those stories through those other mediums as well, through writing and through script writing and through comedy and through um, and through digital art. And so yeah, that's me just every single day being curious enough, curiosity kills the cat. Being
Hmm.
curious enough to ask the deep questions and have the experiences that scare the shit out of me. And
Hmm.
I happen to get good at living scared.
Hmm. Hmm. Getting good at living scared. I was going some other place, but that takes me right to the spot where many times we do certain things out of fear, out of our we're hesitant to do things because we're afraid of what others may think, right?
Hmm.
We're afraid of how we may appear to others. We're afraid of can we really do it again, and that keeps us paralyzed.
Hmm.
And you said what happened to you with people. You began to observe people, and you were more comfortable being introspective, right? Internalization in your head, but you wanted
Hmm.
to engage more.
Yeah.
And I find that to be powerful because many times we are observing things. My father had this particular passage to say that observation and not conversation makes one wise. And
Hmm.
so I know that that's a powerful moment where you can observe and absorb a lot just
Hmm.
from observation,
Yeah.
and that makes you have a level of situational awareness, which I think is very powerful.
Yeah.
But then you also said that there's a challenge, and the
Hmm.
challenge in life sometimes is that we engage in people pleasing,
Yeah.
which is based on us really not having this level of self acceptance. That
Yes.
this is kind of what you were saying. So, and that influenced or impacted your relationships.
Hmm.
Share more about that.
Oh yeah, man. My lack of self acceptance and self esteem. I would say self esteem issues and also rejection issues. All the things that we pick up in this journey from childhood. And I learned that, through my relationships. One thing that there's a brother that I admire a lot, and actually did some work for him back. His name was Zoe Williams, and he had a show called the Zoe What Morning Show. And one of the things that he recited on his show, I think he might have been quoting Krishnamurti, where he said, um, "The relationships are the university of you." You will learn more
Mm,
about yourself in a relationship than any other place in your life. And that resonated deeply with me. And at that time, it began to materialize for me that all of the trials and tribulations and the conflicts that I'm experiencing around other people are a reflection of me, some aspect of me that needs to be developed, that maybe yearns to be developed, something that has to be paid attention to, maybe an aspect of me that needs to be expressed and I don't feel comfortable or safe enough in expressing it authentically. And so it was causing this resistance or this reverb. When
mm,
I started getting down in the vibrations and frequencies, then I started seeing how the communication between the two are synonymous. But I was starting to get this in my relationships. I was wondering why I was experiencing so much pushback and resistance, and it was so unintentional. And I was questioning, so a person being so intentional and wanting to express love and wanting to express and want and serve people authentically, and wanting the people around me to to be great and excel in whatever it is that they want to do. And with this intention, I was still getting back this resistance, like, and I had to do some self examination, which led me to many other spaces, like the Kabbalion. One of my favorite quotes is, "When the student is ready, the teacher will appear." And when I read that, I learned a bit about myself in terms of, why is it that I felt like I have to over explain? Like, why am I over explaining? And why do I feel like I always have to teach somebody something? If there's a way that I can nurture another spirit, it'll be done naturally. I won't have to force it. And so learning those lessons allowed me to kind of sit with myself and say and ask some deeper questions of, like, why do I need to be seen? Or how do I need to be seen? Why do I need people to see me a certain type of way? And until I hit my 40s, you know what I mean? It was around my 40s where, and then some life situations happen, like divorce, break a brother all the way down, and just really have me getting into that healing work and asking myself, is like, what is it about myself do I feel like I have to prove to other individuals? And when I feel like I have to prove to other individuals, really what I was doing is I was trying to create a narrative in their head, which was not authentic. It was not allowing them to experience me authentically. So yeah, I was able to kind of like dust off all of the different layers, peel back the onions of where my responses and reactions and my ideology, like, where did it come from? Where was it birthed? Where was that the beginning, or the transition of energy? Where did that begin? And when I did that, it got down to self-acceptance, and that self-acceptance also, I found out, prevented me from being honest. And lack of honesty does not allow for authentic, mutually
hmm.
nurturing relationship.
Exactly, because you're trying to make sure that you present good for other people. And so you can't be authentic because
Yeah,
you're trying to become an image of a caricature of what somebody else desires, and you don't know what they desire. 'Cause they don't know what they desire.
yeah,
That's powerful. Divorce
yeah.
will snap your back. It will do that.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like we put together like a protective um idea, so that way, like, and the thing is if I can put together this armor around me, then any type of judgment, which is inevitable, because there's duality in everything. Any type of judgment or shame that comes at me, it'll lessen in my brain. It will lessen somebody judging me or somebody misinterpreting me, and not realizing that no matter how I choose to express myself, because of the laws of nature and duality, there's always going to be an opposing force, because you can't exist without an opposing force.
mm, mm,
And I had to grow into that and understand, no matter how I choose to be, there's always going to be some energy that opposes it, because it can't exist without it. And
mm,
that allowed me to get to a place of saying, well, if I'm going to choose to be anybody, why not choose to be my authentic self? and just
Mm.
allow whoever to not like it, and be okay with it because I know it's
This
part
is
of nature.
this is heavy, right? This is because I have had a chance to sit in on your experiential activities, and folks, if you have not, you need to get Lex to come out and do these experiences with you that allows you to engage in some self exploration to discover the power that is within. And I sat in on one, and I'm hearing this story now that I know more about why we did the activity that we did when we did it, about losing part of yourself in order to be in this moment.
Yes.
You talk about being in your head. How has your internal dialogue shaped your external leadership and the way that you relate to others?
Oh man, tremendously, tremendously. I had to link. I had to first learn the communication from God of my own understanding, so that way I could get proper instructions. I always knew from young that I was designed to tap into a source of knowledge and information that's greater than me. I just didn't quite know what. And I got pushed around by a couple of different cultures and ideologies and religions and stuff like that. Moving through life, mugs and nudge you and push you around and try to bully you into different places, and and just try to get you, to adopt. And so I never felt comfortable because, again, I don't people it's been always been a challenge for me when, in the space that I was in. People are much it's much easier. But before, people has always been a challenge. So that being said, it's as I became more wise and lived life and got my ass whooped quite a few times, I learned that when I connect to a source greater than myself, I'm able to receive information and instructions. And those information instructions become that internal thought that
Mm,
I manifest and create from on my internal and in my internal universe. So I speak a lot about the multiverse, and you have your internal universe, the verse, that unified voice that's in your head that's speaking to yourself and relaxing you and ramping you up, and that eggs you on, your cheerleader, but also at the same time is your biggest critic, creating balance with that conversation and making sure that I stay in tune with the God of my own understanding that serves me well. And that was the thing, is I had to tap into having conversations with a God of my own understanding that serves my spirit well and resonates and
mm.
harmonizes with who I am and speaks to my own natural God-given gifts, and then it allows it to flow through me naturally in whatever type of situation and circumstance that I'm in. So once that communication got in alignment, everything else started to flow. And then I was able to pick up information in different spaces through. I was speaking with the brother, you know, uh, about even within the men's group that we did, the mental health event that we did. I talked about communication on different levels. And once I was able to learn how to receive communication from all of my senses, once I got some sense about me, and I was
Mm.
able to receive communication from all of my senses, that also helped shape and narrate how I was having communication in my head with myself, which then allowed me to be more flexible and build quality functional relationship with other people. And then on top of that, allowed me to create systems around it, which allowed me to build my company, Vital Links Consulting, which is a relationship strategist consulting company. It's it's helping us learn how to interact and engage with each other authentically and organically. And so
That is going to be that. I don't want to cut you off, but I don't want you to go anywhere with that one,
Mhm.
because that is going to be where we pick up next. I wanted to just let you know that we are talking with Lex Kelly,
Mhm.
profound conversations. He talked about the issue of knowing who you are, tapping into that higher power within, being able to awaken to your senses, has a sense about you, and know that when you finally listen to that internal voice, it is really the divine speaking to you. It is really you talking to you about what you need to do, because you already know what you need to do. Just afraid to do it. People
Mhm.
pleasing can lead you into a quandary, but when you begin to please the divine, the higher power, that's when you have elevations. So we here with Lex Kelly, profound conversations. I'm Awata Sankara. Thank you for listening for this segment. Don't go anywhere because we got something else to talk about.